What is up, everyone? Welcome back to an awesome Movie Merc episode, and today we're diving straight into the grand line because Netflix's One Piece Season 2 is finally here, and honestly, this thing might be one of the most ambitious anime live action adaptations ever attempted. So today I'm talking about bigger sets, we're talking about practical effects, we're talking about giants, dinosaurs, a giant whale, Baroque works, assassins, and yes, finally, Tony Chopper. And the wildest part, Netflix didn't just try to make season 2 bigger. No. They basically said, what if we took the chaos of One Piece season 1 and just doubled it? So today I'm breaking down everything. We're trying to get as much as we can into this. So you need to go out there and watch season 2 right now because the production facts, the cast, the characters, what arcs it covers, the changes behind the scenes, and why this season might be the real test for whether this show can become Netflix's biggest next mega franchise, because I honestly see it happening. So let's set sail, ladies and gentlemen. So today we are talking about all the facts. All right, let's break it down. All right, you guys ready for this? Let's roll some dice. So first off, let's hit the basics. All right, season 2, officially titled One Piece Into the Grand Line, premiered on March 10, 2026 on Netflix. Netflix officially confirmed that release date through Tandem. The season continues right after the Straw Hats Barrel promises from season 1, if you guys remember that. Now, this season adapts the next major stretch of the story, and it takes the crew into the early Grand Line saga. According to Netflix and Ichiro Oda, its own update to the season covers Logtown, Reverse Mountain, Twin Capes, Whiskey Peak, Little Garden, and Drum Island, and they hit it all beautifully. That's seriously a packed run of materials, and yes, that means the Straw Hats have officially left the East Blue setup era and are entering truly the weird, unpredictable, larger scale One Piece journey that we are on currently in the manga. And if you don't know One Piece, this is where the world really starts to explode. So you guys get ready for the adventure because season 1 proved Netflix could do some really awesome piratey adventure. Season 2 was proof in the pudding right there. I mean, honestly, they murdered it just out of the park. Why this season is such a big deal. Now, honestly, season 2 it was make or break for the continuation. Season 1 was the okay, can we adapt this without embarrassing ourselves? And they killed it, got the green light. Now this season is where the show has handled stuff like bizarre island hopping. We've got larger scale fantasy giant creatures, more devil fruit users, the Baroque works, the emotional character backstories, and a literal talking reindeer doctor. I freaking love him. And Netflix knew all that. So the showrunner Joe Track straight up said that the mantra for season 2 was basically scale it up, scale it up, scale it up. It specifically said that the season gets bigger with the giants, the dinosaurs, the crew ending up in the belly of a whale, and every island testing that the Straw Hats get tested in different ways. And you'll see that during this season. And it was awesome. They did such an amazing job. Season 2 was actually really big into introducing actual madness of the Grand Line itself, and I really love how they did it. They didn't just play it safe. They went, hey, let's keep it grounded. No, they took it to a prehistoric island full of giants and dinosaurs. I mean, they went all in, Jurassic Park style. Anyways, different franchise. Now let's talk about production, because this is where it was insane. I can't even. The facts that I was learning behind the scenes for this was just mind boggling. Like, I couldn't keep up with all of it. Now, Netflix has officially confirmed that season 2 had wrapped production, and the cast even marked the end of the filming behind the scenes with a giant celebration of photographs. And you guys can find those on Google, on their Instagrams, and as currently their TikToks as well. The Straw Hats returned to South Africa for filming, specifically Cape Town, which continues to be the home base, supposedly, for the live action series, confirmed by most of the characters, cast, and crew. Netflix confirmed that the cast flew in from all over the world, reunited there for production, and it was one of their all favorite times just to get together to see the details for Drum Island. Joe Trax described Drum Kingdom as the show's medieval Winterfell type location, a creepy, wintry, almost haunted environment with a castle looming above the island. But here's the really funny part. They filmed it, Cape Town, in summer. So to make everything look like a frozen snow kingdom, the production had to bring in massive, massive amounts of fake snow all over the set. Trax literally said that they used piles and piles of fake snow to trick the brain into believing that the cast was in freezing climate conditions while they were actually filming in like really, really warm weather. And this is such a classic movie magic detail, and exactly the kind of thing I really, really enjoy hearing about from behind the scenes stuff. Another awesome fact, Ichiro Oda actually visited the set in South Africa during the season 2 production, and that is massive, because Oda's involvement has been one of the biggest reasons fans trust this adaptation at all. And that's true from being a fan myself. Netflix confirmed he met with the returning cast during the filming, which is also awesome. If Oda is on set checking for the vibes, that's basically the One Piece equivalent of getting your bounty stamped by the Pirate King himself. And that is so freaking cool. Gives me goosebumps. But the returning of the Straw Hats in this season is really what hit home for all of us. Just the knowing that it's coming back. And of course, the main Straw Hats were back. Inaki Guda as Gude as Luffy, Makuna as Zoro, Emily Rudd as Nami, Jacob Romero as Usopp, Task Scholar as Sanji. I hope I didn't murder those names. And honestly, this cast remains one of the biggest reasons this show works in the first place. It has been amazing. The chemistry they've actually, they just feel like the crew. And it's based on such a promotional material and behind the scenes comments that you get when researching it. You really, really see it. And it leans to the idea that the Straw Hats are no longer just meeting. They are a family. They are functioning like a real pirate family behind the scenes and on set. Netflix's sneak peek had the cast talking about how season 2, the crew relies on each other way more, which makes sense because the Grand Line does not care how cute your friendship speech was in season 1. The Grand Line is basically like, oh wow, you're friends? Cool. Fight a dinosaur now. Let's see how well you do. That's the Grand Line. and honestly, it's just so... I'm stoked for season 3, guys. Seriously. Now, let's get into one of the best parts, in my personal opinion, of season 2. The new cast is absolutely loaded, ladies and gentlemen. Netflix officially announced a huge wave of new characters for the Grand Line, including, I'm going to murder these names, Charithra Chandran as Miss Wednesday, Vivi, Joe Magliano as Mr. Zero Crocodile, Lara Bova as Miss All Sunday, Nico Robin Callum as Kerr as Smoker, Julia Richwald as Tadachi, David Matchelian as Mr. 3, love him, Camus Johnson as Mr. 5, Jazzarella, Jasmine as Miss Valentine, Daniel Lesker as Mr. 9, Sophia Ann Caruso as Miss Golden Week, Kathy Siegel as Dr. Kariha, Mark Herlick as Dr. Herluke, or Merlick as Herluke, Rob Corley as Warpaw, Ty Dalton as Clive Russell, as Crocus, Warner Custer as Dory, Brendan Murray as Brogy, plus Rigo Sanchez as Dragon, and Yonda Thomas as Igorim. This is a ridiculous setup and lineup, and honestly, some of the most insanely smart casting choices ever. Let me get a sip of this. Joe Magliano as Crocodile. That's one for the casting where I was like, what? Did you hear about that? No freaking way. And then I saw it and I was like, holy shit, they did that. It's absolutely insane. Now, Smoker with the giant cigarettes or cigars, awesome. I mean, seriously. And David Dastmalchian as Mr. 3, perfect. I love him so much. Kathy Siegel as Dr. Kariha, actually beautiful. I love it. And Charithra Cantran as Vivi gives the season a really important emotional anchor, because Vivi isn't just another new face. She's one of the first major characters who really expands the political and emotional scope of the One Piece anime beyond just a pirate adventure. So also, yes, Netflix's villain-focused teaser made clear that the Baroque Works is front and center this season, with Luffy and the Straw Hats facing a much more organized and dangerous enemy than anything we've ever seen before, or dealt with in Season 1 in general, and that is huge. Now, Season 1 had villains. Season 2 has a system of villains. I mean, they really did some great picking and pulling from the anime and the manga for how they wrote this whole series. Season 2, I should say. Now, let's talk about the fuzzy little elephant in the room, shall we? Chopper. Oh, I love him so much. Chopper, because let's be real, for a lot of fans, Tony Chopper was the single biggest question. How are they going to do this? Like, how do they make Chopper without turning him into some little cringy reindeer nightmare fuel? Well, Netflix finally revealed him at Tandem 2025, and the response was honestly a lot better than a lot of us was fearing. Chopper was officially introduced as joining the show in 2026, and Netflix made a point of spotlighting him as a major reveal. One of the coolest production fact about Chopper here, Michaela Hoover doesn't just voice Chopper, she also performed facial capture for the character itself, which is really awesome. And according to Netflix and the VFX company Framestore, they handled adapting Chopper for live action using Oda's manga design as the base itself, not just the anime, which I find really cool. A huge detail, because Framestore is the kind of VFX name you want attached to the character like this, and it gets even nerdier, believe me. For on-set performance work, Netflix later revealed that Cocoon Micha served as the on-set proxy for the hybrid Chopper, while Gavin Gomes performed heavy point Chopper in the suit. So Chopper isn't just a voice. Chopper isn't just CGI asset. There was actual layered performance happening right there behind the scenes. And you can really tell, like, there was some emotional value there. That's exactly how you want to do something like this. Not just throw a cartoon in the frame and you build illusion from the multiple pieces like voice, facial capture, practical on-set, stuff like that. Because that's what they did with this, and they killed it, and I loved how much detail they put into it. And that pretty much gives us hope through the team can continue this with the franchise. Also, another huge shout out to Oda himself, Not Worthy, specifically praised the team for how much work went into Chopper's fur, facial expressions, voice, lighting, and even the gravity of the situation of bringing him in general. And yes, that's literally out there engineering. There's people out there engineering the physics, the adorable reindeer energy that brings Chopper to the screen. And yeah, he was adorable. I love him. I would die for him. I would murder for him. Just playing. Maybe I'm not. Now, one of the biggest behind the scenes stories around season 2 was the change in leadership. Now, Matt Owens, who was one of the key creative forces behind the live action adaptation and helped kind of guide the show from the start, stepped away here for season 2, filming to focus on mental health. And good on him. He started publicly with that last year, shared that publicly last year on the series had been a dream come true, but also a lot, and he needed a break from the spotlight. That's an important thing there because a lot of fans kind of understand that he was nervous taking on such a big ordeal like One Piece. By the time that Owen stepped back from season 2, had already wrapped filming, and Joe Trax remained the place to oversee post production, Netflix's own materials, and continued to credit Trax as major creative force for season 2, serving as co-showrunner and writer, executive producer. And yeah, he did an amazing job. Good job, Trax. So if you were worried that season 2 got derailed and you haven't seen it yet, no, the ship was already sailing and he just got it to shore. And honestly, respect to Owens. The fact that he helped build one of the most successful live action anime adaptations ever, and then prioritized his health, that deserves support, not doom posting. So yeah, props to you, bud. We all know the mental health game out here ain't great. I mean, look at me. so here's the big takeaway for season 2. All right, it was the real test here. Season 1 won the people over. Yes, season 2 has to prove this show can survive the jumping into full-blown Grand Line chaos. And from everything we know, Netflix did not hold back. They went bigger. They went crazier. The locations were beautiful. There was deeper emotional arcs, a stacked new cast, heavier VFX, and Oda's praise, and Chopper. They really took everything that we kind of were biting our nails about and just killed it. If this season lands the way that fans want it to, then One Piece live action will stop at nothing to be surprisingly one of the best things Netflix has actually ever done, ever, and become a huge major franchise, more than it already is. And honestly, that's wild to say about the show that includes a rubber pirate, a deer doctor, giants, a whale, and a man named Mr. 3. Because I just love this series so damn much. And if you guys want, I can also do a Movie Merc follow-up script on like maybe One Piece 1, kind of explain a few things, and then kind of cover what I've found out about season 3 thus far. Just let me know in the comments. If you've enjoyed this, please drop a like, subscribe to Movie Merc, and yeah, I'll be catching you guys on the next one. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here with me and just doing Movie Merc things. I know that it's been a while, and I know that my video is a little bit sporadic and whatnot, but life happens. But I do appreciate you guys being here. I love you guys so much. Go do something awesome, be classy, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.